Hello, this is Mr. Wynn, and today's video will be about special functions. For this video, you need to be able to graph and identify the domain and range of three special functions. The first one is a piecewise function. This looks like f of x equals multiple pieces, multiple equations. It's x minus 2 if x is less than -1, open circle, and x plus 3 if x is greater than or equal to -1, so closed circle. In the graph, it goes different ways, different parts of a line. The next one is a step function. F of x equals that weird sign. That's just two brackets. And as you see the graph, it looks like a step, like walking up the stairs. That's called the greatest integer function. So basically it either rounds up to the nearest number or down to the nearest number, but it always makes a step, and I'll talk more about that later. And the last one is the absolute value function. So f of x equals the two lines, the absolute value of x. Y'all know that makes a V shape. So in example 1, it's just given this piecewise function and graph, identify domain and range. So this piecewise function has three parts, as 2x plus 3 if x is less than 1. It's a closed circle. It's this line right here. Alright, so open circle. It has this other piece, negative x plus 2 if x is between 1 and positive 2, and they're both closed, so closed. And it has that last, the blue piece, 3, the constant, the horizontal sideways line, if x is greater than 2, open circle. Alright, so there's a graph. Usually you have to graph that yourself, or they'll give you the graph, you have to find the equations yourself. You know how to find the slope, you know how to find the y-intercept, and just write the equation on the line. But the real part is finding the domain and range. When I do domain and range, y'all know domain is x, range is y. I always think for domain, how far left is my graph going and how far right is my graph going, and is there anything missing, any x that isn't used? If you look in this picture, the domain, it keeps going downwards but diagonal. It's slowly heading left, but slowly heading left is fine. That means it can go left forever. For domain, it's going to go all the way to negative infinity. Alright, now how far right will it go? Well, this blue arrow keeps going. It's going to go right all the way to forever, all the way to positive infinity. Now be careful, is there anything it's missing in between? Well, at x equals 1, it has a hollow, a closed, open circle on top, but a closed circle on bottom, so that's fine. That x equals 1 is being used. Same for x equals 2, there's a hollow or empty open circle on top, but on the green one, the bottom, it's closed. So there's no missing x's, no holes. So it's negative infinity to positive infinity, or again, sometimes they say that's just all reals. Alright, for my range, it's the y. I always say how low to how high. Well, the red line, it goes low forever to negative infinity. Then, does anything go up? No, the top of this is right here. I'm going to do a dotted line for y'all. There's no part of the line that ever goes above that. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y is 5. So it goes all the way to 5. Now, does it include 5? No, because it's a open circle. So it's be a parentheses. If it's a bracket, it includes it. So that's your answer for the range. Or sometimes they like saying y is less than 5. So that includes negative infinity, and it does not count 5. So either one there. Alright, example 2. Now this isn't really an example, just write down what makes sense to you here. I'll just explain it, and you just write down what you think I mean. So no work here, just try to understand the reasoning. So we have an automotive repair center that charges $50 for any part for the first hour of labor. Always a flat $50. Then $35 for any part of each additional hour. So what kind of graph represents the situation? First, I made a little chart, a table, to figure out what's going on. So between the first x, my hours, t is the total cost. So between 0 and 1 hours is $50. Between 1 and 2 hours is $85. It doesn't matter if it's 1.5 hours, 1.75 hours, 1.1 hours. Once I break past that first hour, I have to pay that full $35. And between 2 and 3, it's going to be $120. Between 3 and 4, it's $155. Between 4 and 5, it's $190. When I graph this, you'll see a step function. So this is how you use a step function. You can use step functions for things when there's a flat number for a certain amount. Usually maybe a table or a classroom. A table sits 5 people, so how many tables you need? Between 1 through 5 people is 1 table. Between 6 through 10 people, you need 2 tables. Those are step functions. So all right here is this is a step function. Again, it's like walking up the stairs, the steps. All right, in 3, graph f of x equals absolute value of 2x minus 4. Also identify the domain and range. Right now, I'm gonna make a table and I'm picking points for x, find out the y, then I'm gonna graph it. And for now, this is what I'm gonna do, but I'm sure a much better way later to graph these. So I try plugging -3, I get y is 2. I plug in -2, I get f of x is 0. If I plug in -1 for x, I get -2. If I graph it, it makes a v. Now again, domain and range. Domain is how far left and how far right does the graph go. This goes left forever, so all the way to -infinity. This goes right at a diagonal forever to +infinity, and it's not skipping any x's, so again, that's all reals. For the range, it's how low to how high. My graph, this right here is the lowest point. So it's -1, -2, -3, -4 for y. And it's not a open dot, it's closed. It's solid, so it counts -4. And now how high does it go? It goes up forever to +infinity. So you can say that, or sometimes they like using y is greater than or equal to -4. Either of those will be fine. You can have the red answer or the black answer. All right, I'll leave you this practice problem. Write the piecewise function. You have to name each part of the line and then tell me the domain and range. And again, the answer's down there. If you can do it, you should be fine for the class quiz. All right, thanks for watching. This is Mr. Nguyen. I'll see you in class.